A year ago, if you had asked me how many hours I spent sleeping, showering, commuting to work, or working on projects, I could have told you down to the hour. I kept a book on all of this stuff. It was like I thought I could outsmart time if I just studied my use of it enough. I either relentlessly recorded or decided how much time I would spend on a given activity. And for a lot of things that didn't really matter. So I knew how many 20-minute segments I spent jogging in 1 week. That didn't really change the outcome of the jog. But with doing creative work like writing, my watching the clock was really just giving the clock permission to watch me. Like the most unhelpful study buddy staring at me, feeling how it was thickening the air with competition and with my insecurity and self-doubt following right after it. But I didn't know how to break it off with this time thing. Like that's just how I did stuff. My utilization of time was the last thing I thought about before I went to sleep and the first thing I thought about when I woke up. I just woke up, checked the time. How many hours is that? 7? How many hours is that? 5.5? I felt incomplete or like I was missing important information about myself if I didn't know exactly how many hours I was above or below the average sleep amount. Again and again I would time my writing. Dang, it's 3 o'clock. I was supposed to start writing at 1 p.m. It's okay, I'll just go to cafe now and I'll write for 4 hours and I won't come home until I do. So I'd do it and I came home hurt and confused, disappointed with my lackluster pages. I'd written like I was in detention, like someone was watching me, like I was trying to catch up but I'd already failed. Self-conscious writing, in other words. So one day I went off the clock permanently. No more keeping time statistics on myself, logging sleep hours, or designating blocks of time as productive writing hours. Because I mean, like, who was I to decide that anyway? I realized for me, maybe that wasn't the best way of doing something I just liked doing. And surprisingly, not surprisingly, I started writing more of what I liked writing. I don't know what you'd call it, this new mode of work. Deceptively casual productivity, maybe? I mean, it didn't look like much in sweatpants writing on my couch, but it was so much more than what I'd been doing before. I was finding I was just slipping into it much more easily. It was just low pressure, and that's what I needed. For some people, timing themselves is a really helpful kind of structure to go by, and to those people I say that is great, or if you want to try that, go for it. Part of like developing your own healthy process is trying a lot of different things. I mean, of course I still have a relationship with time, but the thing that's different about it now is it's just a much more healthy relationship, and I think that's the most important thing. Recognizing when you have a relationship with something in your life that like affects your mood and affects things you care about, and then finding ways to make it of the health ideal you want it to be at. If there's one thing that will make you think about your use of time, it is getting the flu and not being able to do anything productive, which is what happened to me this weekend. But I was actually pretty proud of myself. Instead of lamenting of how behind I was getting on everything, I was just kind of thinking, well, I'll finish it when I can and it would be fine. But I also knew I had a year of practicing not caring as much about time to thank for this confidence. So that was kind of a nice realization to have, albeit while I was on the bathroom floor. So yeah, I hope you all stay healthy and I hope you just have a good time spending your time however you like. Okay, take care.